Hey everyone, Tyler here at The Movie Beat. Welcome back to another Korean movie review. This one's going to be sort of a companion piece to my recent upload, and the common theme is the actress Uhm Jung-hwa. And in that movie, OK Madam, the new 2020 comedy action movie, I really kind of praised her for being this very enthusiastic actress that really sort of gets me into her movies, maybe a little bit more than I should, just because I really love her performances so much. So I really wanted to pick another one from her really broad career, which is like almost 20 years now or so. And I wanted to pick something really on the other end of the spectrum. And so I decided to settle on the 2005 thriller movie Princess Aurora, directed by Bang Eun-ji, who is a woman director, which is also, I like to note that just because there really aren't that many, and especially when it's like a murder movie like this, it's a little bit interesting. Right, as this movie opened up, the music, the credits styling, the whole opening sequence, I actually thought I was watching Old Boy. I was like, did I put in the right disc? And yeah, it was correct, but even the story of this one was very similar to Park Chan-wook's earlier film, in fact, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. So I do strongly feel that Princess Aurora was clearly designed in that pattern of unique revenge thriller that, at least in the early 2000s, was really what Korea was carving out a niche for itself in the world cinema landscape. So this one, anchored by the powerful Uhm Jung-hwa, it does use a lot of those traditional thriller and procedural elements to sort of explore the psychological unraveling of a female serial killer protagonist. You know, if anyone has watched murder mysteries or anything like that, you know that, first of all, a female killer is very rare, but to have a female serial killer, even more rare. So that's sort of this one's intriguing selling point. And although this movie does not really stand as a genre-defining movie, so much like Old Boy or Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance does, I do feel like it's very unique and remains a strong contender at least. So let's get into the story a little bit. A series of disconnected murder cases become linked when detectives discover the sticker of a cartoon princess named Aurora that's been purposefully left at each crime scene. Working the case, Detective Jung, played by Kwon Oh-jung, and his senior partner, Sung-ho, played by Moon Sung-gun, who is now studying to become an ordained minister, work day and night to uncover the connection between the victims. The culprit at large is the beautiful and highly charismatic luxury car saleswoman, Sun Jung, played by Uhm Jung-hwa, whose motive for committing the brutal murders remains unclear. As she continues to kill, her trail of destruction leads detectives down a dark and perilous road of devastating revelation. Now, this movie was very unlike other procedural films that I've seen involving serial killers, and that's mainly because the killer's identity in Princess Aurora is not a mystery, nor does she elude authorities until, like, the final act. Rather, we witness her, the killer, acting out each heinous crime in full gory detail from really the first scene in the movie. Us viewers are going to be left, or you're going to be left when you watch this, really questioning her murderous intentions throughout each uniquely staged killing. You know, I found myself wondering, like, okay, I'm watching her do this. I know people are looking for her. Why is she doing this? That's sort of the draw in this one. And with her coming across as the somewhat traditional high-functioning sociopath, her disintegrating mental state and its cause become the true mystery in this one. This one's also a little bit untraditional because as the detectives work to piece together just what the connection is between each of the murder victims, Sun Jung really isn't caught by the traditional means of slipping up or having the detectives just find out enough information to get one step ahead of her. Instead, the movie shows that she sort of is masterminding a very clear endgame, and it sets up for this sort of final showdown between her and authorities that becomes kind of the cherry on top of this particularly unique entry into the revenge thriller genre. But unfortunately, this movie does start to feel a little bit repetitive after each murder encounter sort of fails to reward the viewers who are patiently sitting through and sort of enduring, whatever harsh scenes that are on screen. If you don't like that stuff, you're definitely wanting a little bit of a reward for that. Some evidence, some information as to why she's doing what she's doing. And I feel like that comes a little bit too slow, as I would want every murder to just give us one more piece to the puzzle, and I don't feel like this movie does enough in that sense. So you do start to see like a little bit of boredom set in, even though the way that she's killing people is interesting and the acting is really good and it looks really good. You're just like, okay, now what is going on? Let's give me something. The finale, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, was interesting, but it's also a little bit weird because it does attempt to try and create some sympathy for this character, as well as maybe justify her actions to a certain degree, but it just doesn't pack the kind of punch that a movie like Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance does, even though that's one of the gold standards, a little bit on the weaker side. Also, the killer's calling card in this movie is a pinkish, purplish sticker of a cartoon princess named Aurora that she leaves at each of her murder sites. And while it's kind of a unique touch to, just serial killer identity, it does come across as a bit comical or just kind of weird at times to be taken seriously. I think in one scene she's got these stickers like plastered all over the back window of a car, which is this brutal murder that happened. It looks a little weird, but as this movie progresses, that really irrational childlike behavior that she exhibits towards the beginning of this movie that comes across as kind of a twisted feature of her personality really starts to end in these disturbing revelations towards the end. So it was a kind of a cool evolution to see. It's just a little bit weird at first. But are you going to be on board by this time at the end? It's going to be an issue for some. This movie definitely will impress those who are interested in the genre, that serial killer type thriller movie, because it just breaks enough of those traditional genre rules that even 15 years after its release, and now just such an oversaturated genre, it seems like, it still feels like a breath of fresh air when you watch it, just because of the choices that it makes and the direction that it goes in. So that's one thing that I like about this movie that holds up. The music is a little bit uneven at times, but some of the song choices are just on point, and this movie is so nice to look at. It's gorgeous. It was just filmed really well. So I'm going to rate Princess Aurora a 6.5 out of 10. Definitely check it out if you're a fan of the genre and this actress. So if you're going out to see OK Madam, and maybe it's the first time you've seen Uhm Jung-hwa, I'd be surprised if it is, but if you want to go back into her filmography and you want to see something really different, this is the one to check out. So thanks for watching as always. If you guys like this content and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Tyler at The Movie Beat. Keep watching movies.